I'm sure you've heard the news. Syria's landscape is changing again. Here's the latest scoop. In the past month, Syrian rebels have launched a major offensive, capturing Damascus by December 8th. The situation is fluid and the future, uncertain. Right now, opposition forces hold significant territory, including Damascus. Government forces and their allies like Russia and Iran have taken a hit, losing major ground. Meanwhile, the Islamic State is reduced to small, isolated pockets. In the northeast, Kurdish-led forces maintain control but face threats from Turkey, who's secured its own zone along the northern border. To understand this, let's zoom out. The war started in 2011 after Assad's crackdown on protests saw the rise of the Islamic State in 2014 and Russian intervention in 2015. Government regained key territories until a recent stalemate in Idlib, broken by this new offensive. Stay tuned for more updates on Syria's ever-shifting landscape. The capture of Damascus marks a significant turning point in the Syrian conflict. For years, the city has been a stronghold for the Assad regime, symbolizing its grip on power. The rebels' success in taking Damascus not only boosts their morale but also sends a strong message to the international community. This victory, however, comes with its own set of challenges. The rebels now face the daunting task of maintaining control over the city and ensuring its security amidst potential counterattacks from government forces and their allies. The fluid nature of the conflict means that the situation can change rapidly, and the future remains uncertain. The international community is closely monitoring the developments, with many countries expressing concern over the potential for increased violence and instability in the region. The opposition forces now control significant territory, including the capital, Damascus. This shift in power dynamics has far-reaching implications for the region. Government forces backed by Russia and Iran have suffered substantial losses, losing key territories, and facing a decline in their influence. The reduction of the Islamic State to small, isolated pockets is a testament to the relentless efforts of various factions to eradicate the extremist group. However, the remnants of the Islamic State still pose a threat, and their presence in isolated areas continues to be a concern for regional stability. In the northeast, Kurdish-led forces have managed to maintain control over their territories, but they are under constant threat from Turkey, which has established its own zone along the northern border. The Kurdish forces are in a precarious position, balancing their efforts to defend their territories while navigating the complex web of alliances and hostilities in the region. To fully grasp the current situation, it's essential to look back at the origins of the conflict. The Syrian war began in 2011, following a brutal crackdown on peaceful protests by the Assad regime. The government's heavy-handed response sparked widespread unrest, leading to a full-scale civil war. Over the years, the conflict has seen the rise and fall of various factions, including the Islamic State, which gained significant territory in 2014. The group's brutal tactics and extremist ideology drew international condemnation and led to a concerted effort to defeat them. In 2015, Russia intervened in the conflict, providing crucial support to the Assad regime and helping it regain key territories. Despite these efforts, the war reached a stalemate in Idlib, with neither side able to secure a decisive victory. The recent offensive by the rebels has broken this deadlock, leading to a new phase in the conflict. As the conflict continues to evolve, the humanitarian situation in Syria remains dire. Millions of people have been displaced, and countless lives have been lost. The international community has been providing aid and support to those affected by the war, but the scale of the crisis is overwhelming. The recent developments in Damascus and other parts of the country have raised concerns about the potential for further displacement and suffering. Humanitarian organizations are working tirelessly to provide relief, but the ongoing violence and instability make their efforts challenging. The future of Syria is uncertain, and the path to peace and stability is fraught with obstacles. The international community must continue to engage with all parties involved in the conflict and work towards a comprehensive solution that addresses the root causes of the war and paves the way for a lasting peace. In conclusion, the situation in Syria is complex and ever-changing. The recent capture of Damascus by rebel forces marks a significant development in the conflict, but it also brings new challenges and uncertainties. The reduction of the Islamic State to isolated pockets is a positive step, but the group still poses a threat. The Kurdish-led forces in the northeast continue to face pressure from Turkey, adding another layer of complexity to the situation. The international community must remain vigilant and engaged, providing support to those affected by the conflict and working towards a peaceful resolution. As we continue to monitor the developments in Syria, it's crucial to remember the human cost of the war and the urgent need for a comprehensive and lasting solution. Stay tuned for more updates on Syria's ever-shifting landscape. The Syrian conflict has been a long and arduous journey with countless twists and turns. From the initial protests in 2011 to the recent capture of Damascus, the war has reshaped the region and impacted millions of lives. As we look to the future, it's essential to remain informed and engaged, understanding the complexities of the conflict and the efforts being made to bring about peace. The road ahead is uncertain, but with continued international support and a commitment to finding a lasting solution, there is hope for a brighter future for Syria and its people. Stay tuned for more updates on Syria's ever-shifting landscape.